Welcome to TradeTheNBI.com. This is John's report. It's for the 15th of June. Back at it, had to restore the trade station. That for some reason my fib level here is not extending across, but as we can see, we've made new highs. And it's just continuation of this rising yellow from the NBI readings here, as well as shakeout remaining positive throughout this entire stretch. Pretty clean, but still somewhat soft. And NQ making its breakout, also into new high territory here. Coming off that GAM, this is the Duocon Paint standard. But straight up from that NBI readings with the NBI white all the way down at the bottom, we do have the potential that this is all going to get retraced. It's just a matter of waiting for that actual signal to take place, and that's going to occur when that magenta and yellow start to fade below, and you get your spike back of white. The euro just maintaining its elevated area, and that's just because the U.S. intends to just continue to throw as much money out there as it possibly can. Still, government's claiming there won't be any inflation, and it's interestingly enough, it will depend on what they do with labor and how much they can keep the constraints of rising wages down, and that really becomes a focus. Because for some reason that fib level is not coming across, we've just got the basic screen. This is the Conpaint 2A, and as you can see from the short that took place, and this was just a continuation from the same wave action that we've been seeing going through. Every time we get the white spike above, you get a little bit of a drawdown. In this case, you also had a reasonable magenta peak, and so when this one rose above, you could expect that any sell was going to be minor, which in fact it was, and that led to the beginning of the day breakout. And what's below that 33 level started to cascade lower. And that continued because you ended up with a lot of the white spikes, but you started to get magenta rising through the early parts of that. And then when we came down here towards the bottom of it, even the brief areas where it was declining and the magenta took over, and never relented from there, because once it spiked above, you had this brief encounter right here, but at this point you were already still with the rising yellow at the same time that it took place. So it was a matter of waiting for it to make its breakdown, and that didn't actually happen until you got that setup right there confirmed when the white actually moved above the red. It's reasonable when it happens and you've had the move, here 7.4. I kind of like 7.5 as a reasonable range, particularly too. I'd like to see where steel comes above DOC cyan and then down below, because this from a reset standpoint just means that usually when you get any kind of selling, it's just going to return back up. So nice to be back on the scene with it and continue to update you as things take place. As always though, look for me on the Skype chat now that some of these issues have been clarified. Trade well. We'll talk to you later.